So we have financial games on there. So again, every game that we have on our system is educationally based. One of our games is actually called Debt Free Millionaire, and it goes through all the finances. You can actually simulate your whole life on this. If you want to see how you'd possibly advance in the future, progress in the future financially, you can actually run scenarios just by playing this game.
That was actually one of my questions I was going to ask you, or what I was going to tell you. I was reading in the white paper is I really appreciate the financial literacy that you're giving, that these kids are able to get at this young age. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, because that's needed, you know?
Oh, yeah, totally. Well, and it's funny because like schools are finally starting to say, oh, it's required to graduate. Finally. I don't know how many years it should have been there.
I think it's great. What I've noticed in my readings within the past few weeks is that kids are heavily into the gaming. And what I saw in one of your articles was the fact that this is going to help them in their retention as well. Like I'm talking about as far as whatever they're studying or learning, they're able to comprehend and hold it longer because they're incentivized by this system. Can you speak a little bit on that, on how this system is going to help facilitate that?
Yeah, definitely. So another great question, because one of the big things that schools have issues with is the kids might learn it and then they'll forget it the next day.
Yeah.
They'll take their test and they'll forget it the next day. So back when I was in high school, I was one of those students. I had a teacher for history that was teaching information, and I was losing it really quickly. He was a basketball teacher, so he was a basketball coach. So most of the time he was gone out in the field helping out the basketball team. And so I left high school hating history, how it was taught. So the first game I created back in 2004, I think it was Historical Conquest. This is our flagship company. It's our physical company, which we still have up and running. It's all over the United States. We have tournaments all over the place. But there was one point where the teachers were telling us we need something that's digital. There's just too many issues of sorting the cards back together, not having the kids destroy them. Can we do it digital? So with Historical Conquest, we actually created this game because what happens is if a kid plays a game and they might see the name one time on the card, play it over time, they're going to see it again.
Right.
They might not know anything about this person, but the next time they hear that name, so they say they're in the class and all of a sudden they hear about Genghis Khan, kids forget everything so quickly.
Right.
So if they hear it one place, such as in a game, and then they hear it a second time, their mind turns on. It's the electrodes that go on, and what they'll do is the mind will actually start memorizing everything that's after it because it knows that it's heard it twice. This is the second time it's heard it. I need to remember that person or what's in there because that's important. So the mind recalls all that information and it will actually stick with you longer. Now think about it. You start playing a game, you play it one time, you might hear the name again, and you're going to hear it again, and you'll remember some of it. Mm-hmm. But every time you play the next game, you're going to remember more and more and more about the people that you're learning about in class. So the retention increases. Now here's a statistic. This one came out actually over 30 years ago, and so you'd think they'd use it, but somehow they haven't. The statistic is that if you learn by reading or lectures, you only retain about 10% of what you read or hear. But if you do an activity, you'll actually retain 70% of what you're learning. So activities in the classroom, but especially games, the student will actually retain the information just because they're playing a game with it. And one of the reasons is because they have an emotional attachment to that information. So it's not just that I heard it once and I heard it twice and it does that, but it's also that emotional attachment that makes your mind want to hold on to that information and know that it's important to hold on to. I was okay. I was an okay student. B's and C's, I strived for the A's, never could get them. I was horrible at tests. And so I knew that there had to be a change in education. Over the years, like every school will tell you gamification needs to be like a high priority. But the teachers, hey, I had nothing bad to say about teachers, but the teachers just don't know how to do it. That's not their job. Their job is to teach. They're not taught how to gamify things.
Right.
And so programming is just another way of helping the kids at their own level. So truthfully, okay, so in media, we've destroyed our kids to some extent because we've given them special effects, we've given them action and all these other things that they can have anytime outside of school. And then we put them in a classroom, we say, you need to learn this. And you're like, okay,
And sit still.
Wait, what'd you say? Yeah, exactly.
Sit still the whole day too.
Yeah. So I mean, we're telling the kids, this is great stuff. Here, spend your time in front of the TV, and then go sit in the classroom. And again, the teachers try.
Yeah.
But especially with the level that the kids are getting, being isolated, having their screens all the time, they're so far attaching from the educational realm.
Yeah.
We need to bring them back in. So programming, coding, and gaming is actually some of the biggest things that can happen in the classroom to help affect the students for the best.
Right.
And the reason why I say this is, okay, everyone knows this, that we've been working on in the classroom. We educate the slowest child because we don't want to leave anyone behind.
Yeah.
But who suffers from that is everyone that's more advanced. And so automatically they become slower because why am I going to go advance if there's nothing really for me to learn?
Right.
So programming, we have the possibility of bringing AI into this where every student would have their own experience. Now, a teacher is very important in the classroom. I don't think we'll ever, or we should never, replace the classroom with AI. But we can enhance the classroom with AI.
There it is. That's key.
Yeah, the teacher's there for the slowest kid. Totally.
Yeah.
So at that point, when we have a few more games in our system, whether it's our games or a developer's games, and we get the gaming system completely up and running and show that the coins are circulating how they're supposed to, that's when we go to the VCs and we say, hey, we have a no-brainer here. You better jump on or be left in the dust.
Right.
And here's the thing. We want dollars on the dollars instead of pennies on the dollars of what this actually deserves, which is why we're not going to the VCs. We're going out to the public. And with going to the public, we completely want to show our appreciation for you. And so we're going to reward you with certain things, including memberships to our system. And the members do not, this is what I've promised everyone. You buy the membership for, say, a year on the fundraiser. It will not actually begin until Historical Conquest is out of beta phase. So you'll be able to get on and experience everything, but your year will not start until Historical Conquest, which is our flag game, is up and running completely. Right now it's beta test. I need it out of the beta test. And then that year will start. So you get about a year and 4 months to be able to be part of this out of that year contract or the year membership that you're getting for donating to us. Now, say you actually want to have like the physical game. We have physical rewards as well. So we have Historical Conquest games. We have Totally Medieval, which is our math game. These are all physical games that we sell all around the United States right now. And we're giving you somewhat of a discount to buy in through this fundraiser. So
That's
awesome.